All right, we are back here with round 3 of the Florida Regional Championships featuring Kevin Swastek, who got second in the PC last night, versus Albert Oster. Both of these players are currently 2-0. Kevin is running the Rayquaza, Xerneas, Landorus, Talonflame, Aegislash, and Smeargle team that I think he might have run last night. And Albert is running Gengar, Kyogre, Raichu, Rayquaza, Scizor, and Clefairy. So not really what you usually see.
Yeah, I mean, again, we have the Clefairy, not Clefairy, yeah, it's Clefairy, my mistake, in there. And, you know, we didn't see it last night in the players that bought it. It's kind of, we're still not sure what it's there to do. And I'm kind of hoping that this time we'll be able to see what it does.
Yeah.
We'll be able to show off its move pool a little better and show what it can do. Kevin, I think, has made a change. I'm not sure he had the Aegislash last night. I think he was going a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he's learnt from last night, you know, taking second, not quite winning it in the finals, but, you know, maybe he's thinking something to do with the Smeargle, which caused him so much trouble.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. Looks like we're going to get things started. I'm curious to see if we're going to see that Clefairy. I know we were talking a little about it last night. I really want to see a Clefairy do something in this format. Not yet, unfortunately. We're going to see a Gengar Raichu lead from Albert and the Rayquaza Talonflame from Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, the Talonflame is still at liberty to do what it wants, essentially. You know, it can set up Tailwinds, it can put out Brave Birds. You know, but it is threatened by the Raichu. Raichu often carries Fake Out, which could be blocked by Quick Guard. So there's definitely a lot of prediction to be done this turn.
I think I've seen a lot of Raichu also run Feint, which can just go straight through Quick Guard. Not that Gengar has any priority moves to take advantage of it, but something interesting that, you know, maybe we'll see Raichu switch out, so we could try to do that later. It's hard to say.
Yeah, a lot of Raichus are there to kind of draw attention away and keep a Kyogre safe. In this case, it's not really protecting Gengar, but it might have a little more time to disrupt and put out damage rather than just draw attention to itself.
You think we're going to see... Oh, never mind. We are going to see the Rayquaza go ahead and Mega Evolve this turn, setting up the Delta Stream, which will actually cover Talonflame's Flying-type weakness to Electricity, which could come into play here depending on what that Raichu chose to do. Raichu goes for Feint.
You predicted it. You said it was there.
Yeah, I said it was there, probably predicting a Protect on Rayquaza. We're not going to see that. Talonflame going straight for the Brave Bird into the Gengar slot, bringing it down to its Focus Sash. And are we going to see Rayquaza double in? I think we are. It's going to take an Icy Wind first, but that Delta Stream will stop Icy Wind's super effectiveness on... I mean, it's still super effective on Rayquaza, but it didn't really do a lot of damage. Probably just hoping for the speed drop.
Yeah, taking it down from 4 times effective to 2 times effective is excellent. Now Rayquaza is just free to drop a Dragon Ascent out here. He's lucky it went second, so the defense drop won't matter this turn.
Yeah, and we saw that Gengar has that Focus Sash, meaning poor Raichu here is just defenseless and easily gets knocked out by that Dragon Ascent.
Yeah, I mean, Rayquaza is now down at the lower defenses, which is a bit of a problem.
Lower speed, too.
Yeah, the Gengar's in a decent position. It was an awkward lead from Albert, though, because he couldn't have Focus Sash on both. And I think, you know, Kevin knew that and just threw attacks at them. Something was going to die, something was going to live with 1 HP.
Yeah, and it also puts Kevin in a good position because he does still have Brave Bird. He could possibly have Extreme Speed. I mean, even though he is at -1 speed on both of his Pokemon, like, he has enough priority where it may not matter.
Yeah, Albert does get to bring out his own Rayquaza, though. And although he doesn't have the speed boost from Mega Evolving this turn, he does have the speed drops from Icy Wind on both of Kevin's Pokemon. So, you know, maybe this Rayquaza is in a better position because it hasn't Dragon Ascented.
It's hard to say. I mean, Kevin is switching out his Rayquaza, sending in his Aegislash instead. Possibly hoping to take advantage of Aegislash's, you know, good type matchup against the Dragon Ascent, against the Draco Meteor. We're going to see Albert's Rayquaza Mega Evolve. Not sure who's going to target what now.
Yeah, I think the Talonflame's probably looking to just tidy up, though.
Yeah, Rayquaza Extreme Speeds the Talonflame. Will do enough for the KO.
Extreme Speed's really good because it has a +2 priority rather than the +1 Brave Bird that comes from Gale Wings. So knowing that damage calculation is absolutely fantastic for Albert. You know, he knows he can tidy it up before Brave Birding. and that gives his Gengar another turn to Icy Wind.
Yeah, curious to see if that Rayquaza will come back out, back with its normal defense, its normal speed. It could work out really well. It's hard to say. But we're going to see Xerneas instead, so who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's saving that Rayquaza for later. I think Rayquaza is often used just to sort of tidy up the stragglers with extreme speeds and Dragon Ascents. Xerneas is an interesting switch here. The Gengar actually puts great pressure on both. If it has a poison move, it can pressure Xerneas, but if not, it's probably got Shadow Ball and can pressure the Aegislash.
Yeah, so we've really only seen Icy Wind so far, so it's hard to say what else that Gengar is carrying.
Yeah, I mean, some people like to go with many attacks. It's a bit more popular that you run it with the 2 stab boosting attacks, and then Icy Wind for speed control.
I don't think we're going to see what that Gengar has other than Icy Wind, unfortunately. Aegislash reveals its Shadow Sneak, easily picking up the 1 HP KO, leaving Aegislash open for possibly taking a Overheat, apparently, from that Rayquaza. That's an easy KO right there.
That's a very tidy little KO for the Rayquaza to pick up. Although it does lower its special attack, it's taken out one of his Pokemon. It's a fine trade to take.
Yeah, especially if Xerneas goes for the Geomancy now. Not that it needs it. I mean, Moonblast at -1 special defense will easily knock out that Rayquaza, leaving Kevin in a really good position going into, what is this, turn 3, turn 4?
Yeah.
This is a really quick game.
I don't think Albert was particularly expecting Shadow Sneak. It's not the most common move. But as you can see here, when your opponent's got weakened Pokemon, you can just slowly pick things off. And that's exactly what I feel that Kevin's team is looking to do with Extreme Speed, with Brave Bird, with Shadow Sneak. You put really good damage down with things like Xerneas, you just tidy them up with little bits of priority.
Yeah, it looks like Albert's remaining Pokemon is a Kyogre, but, oh no, there it goes. I was going to say, it's not Primal Evolving, but it just did, so.
The Choice Scarf's seen play as a little sort of throwback to 2010. Not so popular anymore. With that primal weather, you really need to be taking advantage of it.
Yeah, does Kyogre have any options here? Will like a Water Spout or an Origin Pulse be enough to swing the match in Albert's favor, or is Xerneas pretty much untouchable right now?
I think the problem is that the Kyogre is going last. It's going to be slower. It's just a naturally slower, bulkier, fatter Pokemon. And it just now has to sit there, take a Dragon Ascent, giving it 1 health.
Oh! That is a really unfortunate damage roll, but, Xerneas is still faster than that Kyogre, so it's not going to make that much of a difference, but
that
wow.
Is so much damage from the Rayquaza, favoring the Life Orb over Focus Sash, maybe looking to score 1-hit KOs the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
So a tidy win for Kevin.
Yeah, you can see why, he made it to finals yesterday. He's a really good player. He positioned himself perfectly throughout that match. He had the Shadow Sneak. He had the proper techs. He knew what he was doing from turn 1.
It was a fine trade as well to take the Aegislash out. It did what it needed to do. It dealt with Gengar.
Yeah.
And to lose it for Overheat, that's a fine trade to take.
Yeah. All right, well, that's round 3. I guess we'll be back with round 4 in a few minutes. Thanks, everybody, for watching and stopping by.